Good morning, guys. Welcome to the vlog. Today is a very busy day with a ton of tasks, but the most important one is 100% finishing my official first artist splice sample pack. I really feel honored to have this opportunity to do that sample pack. The only downside is that I have to sit here in the studio and just open up all of my old projects, export the kicks, the hi-hats that I've used, the loops, take out parts out of my song, record more guitars, piano bits here and there, presets. I have to take care of all of that, which is a little annoying to be honest, but I'm still happy to be able to provide you with my samples, my special samples. We still don't know when the pack will be out on Splice, but probably in a month or so. So for the next 4 hours, going through all of my old songs.
The game hard and I looked away because baby you see that it was too late for me.
Wasn't actually too bad. It felt like time traveling, going through all of my old songs, everything that I've made in the past 3 years. And there's one thing that I realized going through these songs, that like the most important part, especially for electronic dance music, is actually the kick. It's like the most fundamental part of the entire song. If you have the right kick, everything else, especially mixing, will be so much easier. A really good kick and a simple bass line and maybe a top melody, some hi-hats, a clap, and you're done. And you have a really good drop, a really good song. So I wanted to dedicate the rest of the day explaining you my top tips how to get the best possible kick for electronic dance music. Tip number 1 is actually a really simple one. Don't use kick generating plugins. I know this might be like a personal thing for me, but maybe it will also help you to not get lost, because these kind of plugins where you can make your kick drum, yes, they're nice and you might get a good kick and you have full control over the kick, but if you're not really experienced in how to shape kicks, you might end up with a kick where you think it sounds good, but it actually doesn't sound good. Doesn't have the right frequencies, doesn't have the right click, and you spend hours and hours trying to design it and then it's not working. I personally stick to kick samples 100% of the time. Again, this one is really personal. Just if you spend way too much time and don't get anywhere, try maybe switching back to the old school method of just using sampled kicks. Just as a reminder, if you're interested, there are sample packs down below, all 3. For me and the entire Accents crew. They have a bunch of kicks that are really good, pre-selected, so just try them out. My second tip is something that I just started doing recently, which really helps me to get better kicks, and I've never heard someone else talk about it, because usually when you start a song, the first thing you select is a kick drum, and then maybe later on, once you have like a rough loop, you might change it to another kick. But what I'm actually doing is I'm going back to my last project, or to my best project. A project that is 100% finished, maybe even released. Just open it up. And then it's important that you have something like a drum sequencer, Geist, or battery where you can just go through the samples and still have everything playing at the same time. You have to select the kick while everything else is playing. With that one song that you've already finished, just go back, open it up, go into the kick and change, go through the kicks and then search for a kick where you think it actually sounds extremely good. Just for example, here in my latest remix, I actually did that. I finished the entire production basically and then listened again to it, and the kick that I had previously didn't really work. So I selected the kick sample, went through a bunch of them, ended up with a sample that I would have never ever chosen if I would listen to it solo, because it doesn't sound good solo necessarily, but in the mix it just cuts through, has a really nice bottom end that goes well with the bass. So I think that's like the best way to actually go through kick samples and find the right one. Here in that song, for example, let me solo the kick. It has like it has a tone to it in the bottom end that I actually don't like listening to it solo, but within the mix, it just works. So if you have trouble finding the right kick, go to an old project, select the kick, Maybe also when you start producing a new song, drag just 2 or 3 random loops into the song to just have something there as a reference. It's really hard to start a song just with a kick. And yeah, switch the kick. If it doesn't work, just get another one, go through your samples, try to have a good sample pack with kicks that actually work. You should really try this one out. I know it might be a little silly, but just really open up your last project and just go through the kick samples. Pick 10 good ones, save them, and use them on the next song. This will help you immensely. And this already leads to the next tip. Whenever you find a good kick, put it into your personal special sample folder. Save it there. If you have 10 good kicks, that's everything you will ever need in your music production life. It will make everything so much easier. A kick where you know that it works will just help you mixing, producing, and just, yeah, make it really fast. You don't have to go every single time through a lot of kick samples. Also, if you do any fancy processing to a kick, bounce it out, save it. Save the time the next time you will reuse it. Don't be ashamed of reusing it. I know a lot of producers that are too proud and want to make everything from scratch every single time. But this way, it will help you to develop your style, get to know that kick, and yeah, just make your life easier. The next tip, very essential. Use an analyzer, especially if you're not like an advanced producer. The analyzer will help you to see what you're hearing. And if you don't have a perfect room, the perfect speakers, seeing the frequencies will actually help you. My go-to plugin, as you know, is of course the Span Analyzer. It's really good and for free, so just go and get it. There's no reason not to have it. You can check the correlation if something is stereo or an antiphase. You get the gain, the RMS to know how loud it actually is. And of course, the frequencies of whatever you're listening to. I always have one on my master. Right now, just the kick is playing and you can see that it's hitting right at 43 Hertz. I would always recommend you for electronic dance music, especially the kind of music that is like from 118 to 132 BPM per minute, like house, deep house, progressive house, big room. To have a kick that has its peak frequency between maybe 40, 45 to 55, maybe 60 Hertz. You can also drag any track that you like into your DAW and watch on the analyzer where the kick is. And I promise you 90% of the songs will have it right in there because that's the sweet spot. That's where it sounds nice, where the speaker can actually play it. It really hits hard. You still have room above it for the bass. If you go too high, you need to put the bass underneath, which is really hard mixing wise, but some songs do it actually this way. And if you go lower, it's too low. It's just mud. It's not a kick anymore. The next tip is an essential one. I'm doing that on every single track that I produce. My auto load is already opening like that logic. I always have a top kick that goes above my main kick. The main kick is for the bass part, the top part for the top click part. And I like to have them separate so I can pick any bass part to any top part and mix 2 kicks. You then just need to make sure to EQ them properly. Get rid of the top part of one of the kicks and the low part of the other kick. And this way you have way more control. Let's say you finished your entire song and the kick is not cutting through, but the kick already has enough bass. Then you can just increase the volume on the click part and this way make it cut through the mix and audible again on smaller speakers, on your phone and this kind of stuff. So for example here, we got the low kick and then the top part. And this really helps to get really through all of the other elements, of course using sidechaining to make room for the kick. And then the last essential getting a better kick sound for your EDM projects tip is actually to tune the kick. A kick is a musical instrument. It has a pitch that you might not be necessarily able to hear, but it still glues better into a song if it just is the same root note as the key that you're producing in. Putting the kick into the root key is usually the best you can go for, but depending on the key of your song, it might not be in that sweet spot between 45 and maybe 55, 60 Hertz. So then it's actually better to just use another note of that key instead of pitching the kick up too much or too low. It's more important that it really hits on the right frequency than being in key. But if you can put it in key, definitely do so. Just try it out for yourself. It's good at least to know about these kind of things. So just go into your DAW. Here again, I'm using guides. I just click onto pad layers, and here I can tune. And as you can see, I tuned down my kick by 1 semitone for this track, just to glue it better into the song. It sticks a little bit out frequency wise and key wise if it's at 0. So I hope you enjoyed this little quick episode. There are 2 more things we need to talk about. First up, since so many people asked me so many times, the interview with Martin Forwerk is all done. We sent it out to him today to confirm it. Once he confirms it, it will be out here on this channel. An entire interview, 15 minutes, with probably the most legendary ghost producer. He's producing for the really big ones, and he's giving away some tips how to become a ghost producer and how to be successful as a producer. And we're actually having a giveaway. It's right here on my table here in the back of the studio. These headphones right here worth 300 bucks, perfect for mixing flat by Ola Audio. I absolutely love these. I have a second pair at home. I started mixing at home since I have them more and more, which isn't really good, like at night and bad. And the ones that I have are open headphones, so my girlfriend is of course really annoyed. But I'm a happy music producer. I can just work longer and make more music, which is the most important, of course. But if you're interested to win them, the first link in the description will lead you to my Instagram page. Just like the pic, follow, tag some friends. I mean, it's all described in there, and you have a chance to win them. We do this internationally and for an entire week. So just go there if you're interested to get some free headphones. All done with work for today, all done with the sample pack. We submitted it to Splice. Now it's up to them when it will be actually available. But again, if you're interested in samples, there are free samples linked down below. I think like 11 or 12 sample packs. And there's also a new one by one of our Accents artists. So just click there, download it. And yeah, just use those kicks and this way kind of advance with your music production. I hope this will help you. Now back home, resting a little bit. Tomorrow back in the studio making music, of course.